Good morning, students. I hope you have already gone through the two sessions that we already had regarding the story Chief Seattle's speech. In the last session, we saw that this speech was delivered by Chief Seattle at Washington in 1854. He thanks the white chief for the acknowledgement of his greetings of friendship and goodwill. In the last two sessions, we saw that Chief Seattle is accepting the greetings sent by the chief at Washington, and then he speaks about the feelings of the young and the old of his tribal people. Then he speaks in the paragraphs about the difference between the red and the white people's experience of their God. He says that the white people are loved by their God and they have a law written by the God, whereas the white people's God does not remember or are not worried about the existence of the red people. He says that it is not only the white people's God that has forgotten them, but even their own God, whom they call the Great Spirit, seems also to have forsaken them. Then he speaks about the differences between them. He says, since the gods of both the white and the red have forsaken them, he feels that they are an orphan group, the orphan children of God. He says the he says here, look at the last paragraph that we have gone through. He says here, we are two distinct races, separate origin, separate destinies, and there is very little in common between us, between the red and the white. So we have already seen this much. Now let us go forward with the next paragraph. Let's see. To us, the ashes of our ancestors are sacred, and their resting place is hallowed ground. So here we see to us, here to us means the tribal people. Ashes of our ancestors are sacred and their resting place is hallowed ground. What does hallowed ground means? The holy ground. So they feel the ashes, the remains of their ancestors, the dead people, are sacred to them, holy to them, and their resting place, the place where they are buried, is also a holy ground. Now he says about the white people. You here means the white people. You wander far from the graves of your ancestor and seemingly without regret. So he says here, you means the white people wander far from the graves of your ancestors and seemingly without regret. So he says that the white people, without any regret, moves away from the graves. Graves means the burial place, the tombs of their ancestors. So here he says again, your religion was written upon the tablets of stone by the iron finger of your God so that you could not forget. So he reminds them once again, it was already told in the last paragraph, that your religion was written upon the tablets of stone by the iron finger of your God. It's already mentioned in the Bible that the early Christians were given the law written by the hands of God and handed over to Moses, and then the people receives it. So this 10 commandments or the 10 laws that was written on the tablet of stone was something sacred to the people, and they learned it by heart and they knew what was the rules and regulations or expectation of God. And here we see Chief Seattle reminding the people that you have a God who gave the tablets of stone in which you had laws written by God Himself. Therefore, you could not forget it. The red man would never comprehend or remember it. It here means the stone tablets that was given to the white people. The red man could never comprehend, understand, or remember the laws that was given by God Himself. Our religion is the tradition of our ancestors. So, what is the religion of the red people? It is the tradition of the ancestors. What are those? The dreams of our old men. given them in solemn hour of the night by the Great Spirit. So here they consider their God as the Great Spirit, and he says their religion is the tradition of their ancestors and the dreams of their old people, which was handed over to them by the Great Spirit, and the visions of our scams, which and is written in the hearts of our people. So it is not written on the great uh, tablets or stone tablet, but it is written in the hearts of the people. And there is nothing written law but what is given to them by the old people and their ancestors, which tradition they have been following so far. So that is the difference between the religion of the red people and the white people. Now let us see the next paragraph. Your dead cease to love you and the land of their nativity. So he is telling here, your dead cease to cease means stop to love you and the land of their nativity as soon as they pass the portals of the tomb and wander away beyond the stars. So here he is saying the difference between the dead of the white people and of the red Indians. So he says, Chief Seattle says that the dead of the white people forget about their place of uh, birth or the native place where they were born and they lived for long time. As soon as they pass the portals of the tomb, as soon as they die, they wander away beyond the stars, they go into the heavens, the beyond the stars. So the tribal peoples are not like that, whereas the white people, once they are dead, they go to heaven without bothering about the place they were born and where they lived. They are soon forgotten and never return. So the dead people are soon forgotten by their own relatives, and then they are never remembered and they are never returned back. Our dead never forget this beautiful world. Our dead here means the red Indians dead never forget this beautiful world that gave them being, that they gave them existence. They still love its verdant valleys, its murmuring rivers, its magnificent mountains, sequestered vales, and verdant lined lakes and bays, and ever yearn in tender fond affection over the lonely hearted living, and often return from the happy hunting ground to visit, guide, console, and comfort them. So they see the experience of Chief Seattle about their dead. What he is saying? What are the things that he says the dead never forget? They verdant valleys. So he is telling they will never forget the beautiful valleys. And then next one, murmuring rivers, the beautiful river that is moving, the mountains, the valleys, the lakes, the bays. None of these things are forgotten by the dead of the red people. They come, it is believed that their dead come back for what? To visit, guide, console, and comfort them. So the dead people come in order to comfort, visit, in order to comfort, console, or guide, and to visit their hunting ground and their people. So here we see how the dead people are very important in the lives of the tribal people, whereas the white people do not bother about them. For them, the dead people once gone, they don't bother. So let us see the next paragraph here. Day and night cannot dwell together. He says, just like day and night cannot go together hand in hand, the red man has ever fled the approach of the white man as the morning mist flees before the morning sun. So, what does he say here? The red man has ever fled. That means the red people have always run away at the approach of the white man. How Just like the morning mist flees before the morning sun, just like the mist vanishes away as the sun rises. So he is telling, just like day and night cannot dwell together, the red and the white cannot dwell together, because the red man used to be moving away, running away, trying to escape from the sight of the white, just like the morning mist moves or vanishes away at the rising of the morning sun. However, your proposition seems fair, and I think that my people will accept it and will retire to the reservation you offer them. So, here Chief Seattle says, even though the white and the red people cannot live together, your proportion seems to be fair. What was the proportion? That they get a geographical land and the red people move towards the southward. That was a proposition kept by the chief at Washington. So here he says that proposition or that desire of the chief Washington is fair. Why? And I think that my people will accept it and will retire to the reservation you offer them. Retire the reservation means, here retire the reservation will agree to the reservation, will agree to the ideas that are put forward by the great chief at Washington. Then we will dwell apart in peace, for the words of the great white chief seem to be the words of nature speaking to my people out of dense darkness. Then we will dwell apart. We will dwell apart means the red people will dwell apart in peace. So they will be in the same land, living in different places at peace, for the words of the great white chief seem to be the words of nature speaking to my people out of dense darkness. So in their struggle, in their darkness, in their depression, he feels that it is the nature speaking to them in order to protect their ancestors, the tombs of their ancestors, the burial places of their ancestors, and to protect the ecology of their land, the nature of their land. He feels the proposition put forward by the great chief, the great white chief at Washington seems to be a proper one, an acceptable one, and the people would accept it. That is the feeling of Chief Seattle. So we shall come with the next part in the next session. Till then, go through it once again. Whatever we have seen in the last 3 sessions, then we will be able to understand further. So please go through it once again, and till we come for the next class, stay safe, stay home. Thank you.